Hi, how's it going? My name's Anthony Boardman and I'm studying the Diploma of Fitness with FIA. Today this is a goal setting session with one of my clients, Yara. So to break things down, Yara and I have been training together for a little while and we're just going to go through one of our goal setting sessions, whether it be for long-term, medium-term or short-term goals. And we've got our little bundle of joy, Ariana here, who's going to help out a little bit as we go through. So Yara, if you could just tell us your name, your age, and how long you've been training.
So I'm Yara, I'm 34 years old. I've been training with yourself for the last couple of months, but I've been training, probably 15, 17 years on and off. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perfect, excellent. And so Yara, so when we're looking at your health and fitness, so from when we started training together or when you started training by yourself, what's probably the best time that you've ever felt when you were training?
Probably a couple of years ago before I had my daughter. Mm-hmm. I was probably not only the fittest, but I was the strongest, and I felt really good about myself.
Excellent. Yeah. And that was something that was important to you, feeling strong? Was that something that was really good?
That was my goal at the time, to get stronger.
Excellent.
And I think I did the the Spartan
race, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So now Ariana, she just had her first birthday last weekend. Yeah. So happy birthday, Ariana. Yeah. Kiss a little wave. That's right. So Ariana's just turned 1. So since having Ariana and now that you're back into a regular training schedule, out of a score of 1 being the lowest and 10 being the absolute highest, where would you probably say that you feel at the moment with your training and with your health?
Probably about a 7.
7?
Yep. Definitely my body's changed a little bit, and I'm not as strong. I'm almost back to the same weight, but it's very different. My body's different to what it used to be, of course.
Okay, excellent. So now when you say that, now your weight's coming back to pre-baby weight, just how you feel in your body. Do you feel that you still have the same movements that you had pre-baby, or is it just the strength levels are down, or what would you say the biggest difference is?
My mobility is definitely different. I do feel pain in places that I never used to.
Okay.
And I have lost significant strength. And even in my core, so, even when I just do your basic squat, I know that I'm not strong in the core.
No worries.
Yeah.
So we're noticing that, like, as compared to where we were and where we want to go, we know that we're looking at the improving core strength, improving that mobility, and just bringing the confidence back into how you used to feel to pre-having the little one.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So just with that, so looking at where you were a couple of years ago to where you are now, we're still feeling good, we're still feeling healthy, but we just know we can get stronger and we can be a bit more mobile. So looking at your priorities, so as we listed there, we had getting stronger, being more mobile, and just getting the confidence back and things. What would you kind of say would be your main priority, or what would be the number one goal if you could tick those 3 off?
I definitely think getting stronger is important to me. Yeah. Because if I'm not mobile, that can come with a bit more strength, I think, anyway. So definitely getting stronger would be my main goal at the moment.
Okay, excellent. So just getting stronger. Is there a particular lift or a particular movement that you think, like, once I'm doing that again, I'll feel strong or I'll feel good again?
Okay, so there's 2 things.
Yep.
Definitely being able to squat more, like comfortably, not just pushing through the reps.
Yep.
Or getting, like 1 RM.
Yep.
And being able to do chin-ups again.
Okay, excellent. So we've got... It's okay, Bubba. That's all right. So we've got not only being able to do some squats, but we've got being able to do some pull-ups.
Yeah.
So getting back to those pre-movements. Was there anything that you did in the training leading up to being able to do the pull-ups that you'd like to get back to doing, or anything that you remember?
I think you might have given me a technique to do once about just pulling and holding.
Yep.
And something else with the box.
Doing the like jumping up onto the pull-up rings and then like slowly lowering down.
Yes, that one.
Perfect.
I think that was a good starter for me. Because I think I went from not being able to do one to doing 4 within a few weeks.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we've got that. So even just building up again with doing some eccentric pull-ups or just doing some static holds, just and building back up to that. Perfect. So looking at the way that we're training. If we were to kind of have like almost like a perfect game plan or a perfect way that we could do it, to think about any of the things that you would be able to either bring into your life right now in order for you to help achieve those goals or to be able to get back on that path. What do you think some of the changes you would make, or some of the things you'd like to bring in to your training or just into your lifestyle to be able to help hit those goals again?
I definitely think allocating more time for training, although a challenge, I think it's definitely possible with some shifting of things around.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing as well is prioritizing some better eating habits.
Okay.
Although I eat well, but I think, like I'm lacking some vegetables and some other nutrients that I could potentially add to make it sort of a bit more holistic.
Okay, perfect. So just thinking about it, so if we were to think about some of the little changes or some of the things that we wanted to implement right now, even if it was just us from a training standpoint, so you think allocating a little bit more time or trying to prioritize a bit more time, being able to possibly work on some of the specific movements during that training, and then apart from that, maybe a couple of nutritional things like just putting a few more greens on the plate.
Yeah,
or,
absolutely.
Yeah. What about you? Do you think you want some more greens?
She loves broccoli.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, there you go. Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
That's a good start. So we've got a couple of pretty good ideas when it comes down to what types of things we'd like to start bringing back in to our training or just being able to organise with our training. But what we'd also like to be able to do to be able to feel comfortable again or to be able to feel strong again with our training. So thinking about that with the changes, it's okay, baby. So with some of the changes that we'd look to have, do you have a specific time frame or do you have anything in mind that you say, look, I want to do that Spartan race that's coming up next year, or is there anything this year, or do you have a goal?
Maybe just being stronger before summer, looking a little fitter.
Okay.
I think I'd like that.
Okay, perfect. So if we've got that... that's all right. It's all right, baby. You can come on up. We've got the joys of live television.
Yeah. Reality TV.
Reality TV, I'll say. Yeah. So with that, so just thinking about it, if we've got a goal of coming up before summer, so is that more? Are we thinking about before the end of the year, or are we thinking more like January, February, or what were we thinking?
By December.
By December?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So right now we're in August, so thinking only about 3-4 months away.
Yep.
About that. Okay. So if we're thinking about that kind of like in our, almost like our, would you say that's like a short-term goal, or is that like
Yes.
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So if we've got that short-term goal of just feeling a little bit stronger, maybe being feeling a bit better before summer, what do you think the next goal would be after that?
I guess just working on my mobility, moving a bit better.
Okay.
And just, focusing on like stretching and sort of making sure that my body doesn't get old from all this strength work.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So we've got feeling stronger, looking a little bit better, then coming through the next set of goals. Yeah. That's it. Then the next set of goals is feeling better. We're moving better. We're feeling stronger. We're feeling back to our old self. And then do you think looking long term is say within the next 6 to 12 months, getting back to that pre-baby body where doing pull-ups again, doing Tough Mudders or Spartan races and things like that?
Absolutely, or even do a bit of a marathon or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Would like to be a good role model.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So looking at it, we've basically got short-term goals are feeling stronger, feeling better within ourselves.
Yeah.
Our moderate or mid-term goals is really just moving better, you know, just being pain-free, not feeling the creaks and cracks in the body when we wake up.
Yeah.
And then long-term is getting back to, you know, doing adventure races, getting back to feeling strong, marathons, you know, just being a good example for Bub and for everyone. Now, it's obvious that you've been able to achieve all these things previously. Now looking forward, we've got a couple more demands on your time and things.
Yeah.
I was wondering, do you have a good support network, or do you have anyone who you're able to kind of be like someone who can either support you or hold you accountable, or do you have anyone there?
Well, my partner and I do swaps a little bit with her to make some time to go to the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
I do make some time to train with her as well. You know, you can always push the pram around. So my friends and family definitely support the fact that they know that training is important. So I can utilise that.
Excellent. So we can see that. And now, one thing you were mentioning before, you mentioned that looking at maybe some dietary changes, maybe just getting a little bit more green on your plate and things. Have you thought about using any of the different apps or any different meal trackers or anything like that?
I have them. Haven't used them.
Yeah.
I've noticed that my eating habits sort of changed again since getting married and having a bub. So I eat whatever she leaves.
Yep. No,
but she does eat reasonably well.
Excellent.
So do you think that using an app would be something that would?
Well, even just sometimes I try to think that the more you know, the more you know. So one thing is I know, I wear a Fitbit. I know some people who wear Fitbits or Apple Watches. They are able to track how much they sleep or how many steps they take, or just how active they are during the day. And I know for myself that on the days that I sometimes track my meals, if I'm trying to make sure I get more veggies in, the good thing is if I've got something holding me accountable, I know that, today I haven't had any veggies, or, I look at my day and I say, oh, wow, I've been really good. I've had veggies in all 3 meals today. So I definitely maybe think about dropping in maybe one of those as just one of those little accountable things.
Okay. Is there an app or
I always just, the one I use, it's available on Apple and Android. I just use MyFitnessPal, and it's the one it's a really easy plug and play. You know, says broccoli, you just put in broccoli.
I think it counts the calories too, doesn't it?
It can as well, yeah. I kind of use it just as a bit of a reminder, just to make sure I've got, have I had my veggies today, or, have I remembered to have my 8 glasses of water, type thing. Okay. But that's a pretty simple thing, but, that's just for me, just to keep accountable and things. So looking at the way that we could kind of break this down, if we were starting to think about getting strong, we're thinking about dedicating a little bit more time to training, and then eventually leading that into our long-term goals of mobility, then strength, and then full encompassing lifestyle. What do you think would be a couple of the things that you'd probably want to start doing in the next weeks, next months, in order to help you reach those short-term goals before summer?
Well, I guess maybe getting back into the gym. We've been doing some outdoor stuff. Yeah. So maybe getting back into the gym and just starting with whatever basics I need to get back to get strong again. Yeah.
Excellent. And so with that, looking at the things that you're training with, you've got your body weight work that you've been doing. You've been doing a little bit of kettlebell stuff. Is there anything that you when you were training, apart from the pull-ups and the squats, that you remember doing that made you feel really strong? Was it yoga classes? Was it any of the pushing the sled again? Was there anything that really stood out for you? The prowler?
Sled. I haven't done that in a while. Actually, flipping the tire used to make me feel pretty strong.
Excellent.
Don't know if I can do that now, but...
We can definitely work up to it. I know, because I think that's one of the things that, even if it's not ticking off the big goals of saying, okay, well, I'm doing the same runs I used to do pre-barb, or I'm doing the same pull-ups. Every now and then, just having those little movements that you can say, oh, I did this today.
Yeah.
That reminded me of when I felt strong, or that helped give me the motivation to keep going. So even if it was just if you previously pushed the sled with 40 kilos on it, even just pushing the sled today with 20 or with 30 kilos or something like that will definitely make a big difference. Yeah, don't you think so? Yeah. Excellent. So just thinking about so planning it out just with our goals, we're aware of how we feel now and how we used to feel pre-baby. We know how we felt when we were doing squats, when we were doing pull-ups, when we were pushing the sled. And we know how we felt then, and we know that right now we know we're not that far away from it, but we know there's still a little bit of way to go. I think the breaking it down into those 3 sets of goals, the short term of just feeling strong, feeling good before summer is a great little motivator, especially the holidays coming up and everything there. Then we can get mobile as we get stronger and as we continue to train long term. And then looking a little bit further down the road, 6-12 months down the road, we're back to doing pull-ups, we're back to flipping tires, we're back to pushing sleds, and just back to feeling good again.
Yeah, that
feels
would be good.
Excellent. So as I was saying, I'm Anthony Boardman. This is my my breakdown for the goal setting challenge. This is Yara. This is Ariana, and thank you so much for watching my submission. And I look forward to speaking to you guys soon.